Let's see. Let's start with the hog feed and a few bags of that chicken feed. Actually, let's just get these shavings off of here because we can put them in there nice and light and do that first. Welcome back to the Piney Woods Homestead, y'all. Taking a break from working on that new 1980s style chicken coop for raising out our Ranger meat birds. It's just too wet, y'all. We had 6 inches of rain this past weekend. So we live in a bottom and that turns it into a swamp. But we're gonna drain that swamp. That's a popular term, or it has been in the past. We're actually gonna drain ours. Do some ditch work and whatnot, work on that. But today we are gonna talk about reasons for producing your own meat, growing your own vegetables. And we're going to talk about 3 things that are really important to us. There are many more reasons why folks choose to raise their own food. We're going to talk about 3 of them. But first, we're going to get some feed out of here. And when we come back for the next load, we'll talk about at least one of those, maybe 2 of them. Oh, and thanks for stopping in. Hit that like and subscribe if you hadn't. And if you have, as always, y'all, we appreciate you. We'll be back in a few minutes. That's a good load. Oh, you got that busted bag?
Yeah.
All right, let's go get this in the dry. So y'all, there are 3 main reasons. That one's got a rip in it too. Sort of threw them up in here. We'll patch it. Y'all, there's 3 main reasons, as I'm getting mud all over my britches leaning up against this tire. 3 main reasons that Lisa and I grow the amount of food, raise the amount of meat that we do. And reason number 1 is, for us, is food security. How many of you remember the news over the past couple of years? And this is not a doom and gloom thing. This is just getting you to think back on the things that you saw. Do you remember seeing pigs upon pigs having to be culled because there was no way to get them to market when things were shut down? Or chicken houses that were completely lost and I'm having to bury those animals because they couldn't get them to market. Processing plants were shut down, things like that. Or maybe all the milk that was poured out, or all of the produce that was plowed under. Food security is the number 1 reason that Lisa and I do what we do. From growing all of our own vegetables and raising all of our own meat. So food security. Now, we have inputs like we've told you, this feed right here. We live on less than 20 acres. We do not grow the feed that we need to produce meat, but we are selective in what we use. And what we're unloading right now from our local co-op is what's called Egg Producer from Nutrena. They also make a meat bird formula, which is good too. But we feed this specific feed to all of our flocks, whether it's our egg-laying hens, our breeders, or our meat birds, because the protein level is the same. It's the same ingredients. There's a little more fat in it, which seems to help with putting weight on our birds quicker. And it is an all plant-based diet. And we've told you before, we understand that chickens and hogs, they are omnivores and can eat anything. But we choose to give them plant-based, and over the 7 years that we've been raising food, in the past 4 that we've been 4 or 5 now that we've been raising all of our own meat, we've had excellent results with a plant-based diet for our animals. No sickness, very few deaths, and that's with the chickens only. And I believe last fall we didn't lose a single bird out of probably our fall crop on birds was around 30 or 35, I think.
No, our fall crop we did lose to the black snake.
The black snake, yes, I'm talking about sickness or disease or anything like that. Nothing. And we attribute it to good clean practices as far as keeping bedding clean, clean water every day, making sure feeders are clean, making sure they're not eating their own poop. Clean practices, y'all. But this plant-based Nutrena feed seems to have really been successful for us. But food security, we're not having to cull animals because we can't get them to market, because we're not growing, for the most part, for consumers. We will sell some chicken along the way, and we have, and we'll barter for some pork, because in most states, in order to sell pork, you got to go through some hurdles with the government and go through either a state or a USDA inspected processing facility, which makes sense to a certain degree for cleanliness. But we raise everything primarily 99% for our own consumption and food that we give away. So we're not having to worry about those hogs getting cold, those chickens getting cold, or those vegetables getting plowed under. So food security is number one. Keep on stacking. You sitting down on the job over here. Y'all, another reason, a big reason that we grow the majority of all of our own food, all of our meat, majority of our vegetables. Actually, I should go ahead and say all of them, because very rarely do we have to buy anything from a grocery store, as far as vegetables go, is food independence, or semi-independence, I should say. Because we're dependent on feed for hogs, for chickens, but we are more independent than the average consumer, because the average consumer, like we once were, we're having to go to the grocery store every paycheck and spend a large portion of that on food that we honestly didn't see it grow, didn't see it fertilized, didn't see it sprayed for insects or sprayed with glyphosate for killing out weeds. We didn't see the animal being raised. We didn't see how it was treated. We didn't see the processing, the cleanliness of it, even though they're inspected excellently, I'm sure. But this way, we see that product from start to finish. We have our hands on it. We know that clean practices have been used, and that kind of goes along with food security as well. But independence, y'all. And it goes along with food security, because if that system breaks down like it has, empty shelves at the stores, animals being culled, we're still producing here, because we're producing out of our own will, doing the work, putting the work in. And y'all, it's a lot of work. Don't be fooled. Don't think that it's easy. It's taken us, and I'm talking to Lisa, she's behind the door. We're 7 years in to get to the point that we are right now. This does not happen overnight. It just doesn't. But we're to the point now that we are truly, other than buying feed, independent from the commercial system. Other than buying feed, which is coming out of the commercial system. thought that was thunder. I am so jumpy. Lord have mercy.
You've been hearing things, you've been smelling things.
I've been jumpy for a while now. Sorry about that. I tell you, I don't know if it's I'm jumpy from, I don't know, I didn't used to be jumpy like this. Back when I was doing another kind of work, I was never really jumpy, but I'm jumpy now.
Makes it sound
Sounded like thunder. All right, y'all. If Lisa's done scaring me to death, and it shouldn't be, but the last thing for us would be food quality. Some characteristics that I'm thinking of are the genetics in our pigs. We raise Hereford hogs. We started out 4 years ago with Rosie, who is our mascot now of the homestead. She was not 100% Hereford. It is really hard in our area to find a purebred pig. It just is. People will tell you that it's a Duroc or a Spot or something just because of the way that it looks. We knew that when we bought Rosie and her litter mates that they were half Hereford because we were able to have a visual on the sow. But it's taken us 4 years to breed Hereford doing AI to Rosie and now to Dixie and Buttercup to get to that true Hereford. So our genetics are of the best quality. You know, if you've watched, we breed using Schaefer Gold Rush in Indiana, and we're getting prized boar semen, and so we've had really good success with our pigs. As far as you can take a look at Rosie, you can take a look at Dixie, and unless you are blind, you can see how much more structured and sound Dixie is compared to Rosie. She just is. She's longer, she's leaner, she's got better hips, better top line, better underline. Everything is better on her. And so we're expecting an even better quality pig now that Dixie's bred and Buttercup are bred. So we should be seeing those excellent traits from these Hereford boars that we've been using over the past several years. So it takes time, but we've got the quality in the genetics. We have the quality in the meat birds that we raise. We're raising a Freedom Ranger from Freedom Ranger Hatchery. We've used other hatcheries in the past to raise the same type of bird, but we really like the ones we've been getting from Pennsylvania from Freedom Ranger Hatchery. And you'll hear people say it's a heritage breed bird. It's not really, y'all. It has heritage breeds that make up its genetic package, but it's not truly a genetic bird, a heritage breed. Now, what is a heritage breed is the hybrid that we raised last year when we bred the Delaware rooster to the speckled Sussex. Speckled Sussex is probably one of the oldest breeds, or Sussex in general. There's different types of Sussex. Probably the oldest breed of chicken known to man. And I say that, you can go and research that one on your own, but it goes back a long time, y'all. And the speckled Sussex, the Sussex actually is named after Sussex, England. So it is a heritage breed bird. And this year we're going to raise them straight for meat. And so we will have a truly heritage breed chicken fryer to go along with our Rangers. The quality of the meat is so much better on the Ranger, in our opinion, versus the commercially raised Cornish cross. And these Rangers are raised commercially too, y'all. You just don't see them in as much prominence as you do a Cornish cross. They cost a little bit more to raise, but not much. That feed that we're using, we've noticed it really does the trick on putting weight on. Plus we give them greens out of the garden and things like that too. But aside from that, our vegetables. You're not going to hear of any listeria outbreaks on our homestead because we're small scale. We're using compost that's broke down properly. We're using organic fertilizers. We use some synthetic, depends on what we're doing. But even our synthetic fertilizers are a hybrid. They have trace minerals mixed in with them, which are naturally occurring elements.
As well as micronutrients.
Yes,
Yeah.
same
Which
thing.
is the same thing, yeah. But
But the quality of the food. We're clean when we handle it. When we butcher and process meat, everything's clean, sanitized. We do it in the open air. We do it up here at the house now, on the concrete where we can keep everything washed down. In between different sides of pork, we're cleaning down with Clorox solution. So we're nice and clean. Everything is done, other than chickens, which you can do really fast. Pigs are done under temperature control because we pick a day it's not going to be above or even close to 42 degrees, which is where bacteria can begin to grow, at least grow well. So in the chickens, we process so quick, they're going straight into ice. So we know the quality is there. But I guess all of those kind of, the food security, food independence, food quality kind of go hand in hand, y'all. We don't do it for the cost saving aspects. A lot of people think, oh, you can raise it a whole lot cheaper than you can buy it. No, you can't. You can go buy chicken if it's on sale for $1.19 a pound, maybe less. Or once in a while catch a,
I don't think it is anymore on sale.
maybe not, I don't know, we hadn't been grocery shopping for stuff like that in a long time. Boston butt, you might be able to find it for 99 cents a pound once in a while. But here's the kicker. This is how we do it, and it does come out better. We raise all of our own vegetables. Lisa starts all the seed. She's got a couple hundred tomato plants in her shop right now on the grow lights.
And 100 pepper plants in the house.
Yeah, a whole bunch of stuff, y'all. We grow it all. And if we don't grow it, we don't eat it unless it is, you know, flour, rice, sugar, salt, stuff like that. You know, we can't do. You can't do 100% of it. But by the time we've raised all those vegetables, preserved it all on our own, we've come out better. Now, don't factor your labor. You can't. We're growing it for ourselves. There's a lot of labor involved. But it does keep you strong and fit. And so it beats sitting in my case, behind a desk or in a patrol car for 12 hours doing nothing.
Well,
and then having a workout at a gym on your day off.
Well, I will say, you know, because we've had the comment before, what's your labor cost? But, you know, when it's something that you're providing for yourself, but not even only that, for me, it's a passion because I love growing.
Right.
So I don't see it as what's my labor in this.
Right. There's a fly trapped under my hat or something.
Oh, this is you being paranoid again.
I hear it buzzing.
You were buzzing in the truck and there was nothing in the truck.
Anyways, you can't really factor your labor in, y'all. Like we've told you before, we're not a channel that's out here showing you how to make money off selling chickens, selling cuts of pork, selling vegetables. Although Lisa's going to sell some vegetables this year, we're trying to grow enough that we can offer, at least to our community, if they want to buy some wholesome food from us, they can do it. And if nothing else, we'll just put more up because you never know if you're going to be healthy next year or not, and you can't do it. So there are way more things to consider, reasons for growing your food. And it doesn't have to be a full-time job. There is work involved. You can do it before work, after work, pick a weekend to process chickens and a hog.
Well, I mean, we did it that way.
We did for years.
Yeah.
We did it for years. And so you can do it. And we still do other stuff. Firewood, lumber, grading, clearing with the excavator. You know, this isn't the only thing that we do. So you can do it. It boils down to, for folks that are interested in do it, do you want to do it? Are you concerned enough about having some freedom from the majority of the system that you're willing to do it? And we are. We're willing to do that. We're willing to put the work in. And you may be at a point in life where you're not able to do that much. That's fine. Support somebody like us that's in your community that's offering that service. Or go to the grocery store like 99.9% of the rest of the population and support them. You know, you can support who you want to. This is still America. Barely,
For now.
but it's still America. So do what you enjoy. Feeling good about the food that you're raising. And once you have started filling your bellies up on food that you have grown with good clean methods, good clean practices, you know where it's coming from, you know what you're putting into it, you're putting quality feed into it to start with, you're probably not going to go back to the other method. Don't be fooled by people that tell you you can raise a hog cheaper than you can go to the store and buy it. You probably can't.
Well, if you're feeding them nothing but
Scraps.
kitchen scraps and slop, and
Right.
then yeah, you probably could. But
You probably could. A pig will eat anything, but do you want it to eat anything? Do you want it to eat stale bread, truckloads of it from the discount bread store? Do you want it to? Is that going to provide all? If you ate just that, would that provide the nutrients that you need? We want the quality coming out of our meat, the quality coming out of our vegetables. That's why we do what we do. But it's America. People can do what they want to do. We're just showing you how we do it. So guys, a little bit of rambling. Telling you why we do it. There's way more reasons. Drop a comment. Why do you do it? Why do you want to do it? What are some other good reasons to live the way that we are? All right, guys, have a good day, a great week. We'll get back to that chicken coop here as soon as there's not 2 inches of mud around it. We'll see you on the next one.
oh, I gotta get that mail.